What's up, guys? It's Rob at Grand Teton Gun and Range. Today we're going to be talking about a gun that's almost become a meme around the shop because of how much I talk about it and how much I like it for the price point, and that's going to be the Ruger RXM. So if you're not aware, the Ruger RXM is kind of a Glock 19 clone, albeit it's got a internal chassis very similar to the SIG 320. So there's a ton of new accessories coming out for this. Magpul is already doing multiple grips for it, and it's pretty rad. So we're going to talk about it, go in depth, tell you what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and tell you why it's maybe one that you should consider adding to your lineup. All right, so this RXM is my personal gun. I've had this now since January. I've put probably 1,200, 1,500 rounds through it. I've got a lot of trigger time on it. It's been a really impressive gun. I really haven't had any reliability issues other than with some crappy reloads that ultimately were having problems in other guns too. It's been flawless. It's been an awesome little gun. So the RXM, R stands for Ruger, X stands for collaboration, M stands for Magpul. So ultimately the RXM was a gun designed in conjunction with Magpul, which is really what piqued my interest initially. Is you've got a gun that's designed by Ruger, which I don't mind Ruger, they're not my favorite. Then you've got Magpul, who I've been a pretty big fan of for a while, in a setup that's very similar to the 320, but hopefully without the same issues that the 320s have been plagued by the last forever, albeit they're a lot more out there now. So internal chassis, swappable grips. There's a lot of different aftermarket manufacturers that are either have grips out for it already or are bringing out chassis systems for it too. So it's going to be pretty cool to see what comes on the market. Out of the box though, it does have a front night sight on it, just black in the rear. It's cut for an optic. You can either put Delta Point Pro style optics, RMR. I've got a Hollow Sun 507 competition on top of this one. Nice big window. And it's been a really good gun so far. I really enjoyed shooting it. And yeah, we're going to put some rounds downrange, talk some more about it. So where it's a Glock 19 clone, takes standard Glock 19 mags. You can throw Glock 17 mags in it, the big 33 round sticks, you name it. It does ship with 2 Magpul mags. I personally am not a huge fan of the Magpul Glock mags. I've just had bad experiences with them in the past. So I have just been running factory standard 19 mags, which have worked flawlessly. Feeds great. It's got a more Gen 3 style mag release, a little bit slimmer than on a Gen 4 or a Gen 5, but it shoots pretty great. So like I said, I've got a fair amount of rounds through this. The trigger has broken in quite a bit on it, which has been nice. That being said though, a standard Glock 19 trigger is better. We'll show here in a minute kind of the reset on it and the travel. But it's a pretty awesome shooting gun. I don't notice a ton of difference compared to a stock 19, but it's $400 on the shelf. It's optics ready. Comes with night sights, swappable grips, a lot of the same features you get with a P320 without it being a P320. I'm a fan. Long story short, I'm a big fan of this gun. So you've got the initial take up, pull, creep, 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 break. Reset. Not long, but definitely not short. Creep, creep, break. So it's not a bad trigger. Tibney does have triggers for these, which I'm actually going to end up trying out. See how I like it in comparison to the stock trigger. But it's a $400 Glock clone that kind of does the same thing as a 320. You're going to keep hearing me harp on that. So a couple things I wanted to hit on. I've been carrying this gun now for probably about 3 or 4 months. It fits in standard Glock 19 holsters, locks up well. One thing I have noticed though is you can kind of see in here, there is a little bit of wear both there. It's not super visible on the slide. If we flip it over though, you can see it on the back end where the holster is contacting the gun. I do feel like the finish, it's some sort of nitride. It could be a little bit better. As I keep shooting it, as I keep running it, it'll be interesting to see how that keeps wearing, because it's definitely not perfect. I feel like some of the standard Glock finishes definitely hold up a lot better. So, kind of like I was talking about, it is modular like the SIG P320. You've got this front pin right here. You can pop that out, pop the slide off the gun, and then you can change the grip frames. In fact, I'll pull it apart really quick for you right now. Takedown is pretty much the same as a standard Glock. On the inside though, you can see that chassis that rides on the inside of the gun, inside of those grips, just pops out. You got essentially a full piece that rides underneath onto the front slide rails and then comes in the back for the rear slide rails. Pop it out, swap grip frames. And the cool thing about this too is I do know that there's a lot of cool accessories that are going to be coming out for this. I can't talk about all of them, but I will say that I was excited enough about what is coming to market for this that it ultimately did lead me to buying one of these on my own, because it's going to be a fun little gun. It is a fun little gun. It's going to be a fun little gun, and there's going to be a lot of rad stuff coming down the line for the RXMs. So like, while I said it's kind of like a Glock 19, it's a Glock 19 that does the same things as a Glock 19 with night sights and optic cut, you name it, for a price that's quite a bit cheaper than a Glock 19 MOS. Kind of jury is out on how well these are going to hold up long term. Like I said though, I've got about 1,500 rounds through this and I've had 0 issues. So we're going to see how it keeps going. We'll give an update in a few months from now, see how I like it then. We'll mess with that Timney trigger and yeah, update you guys and see how we like it another 6 months down the road.